the kingdom can turn around. We're lighting up the night, shaking up the ground. Excuses and flames, yeah, we're breaking free. We'll be fire, this is our legacy.
Welcome to the One Big Fire. Hello, Mr. Kinder.
What's up?
Man, there's a lot up right now. A lot's up. And it's so funny because I know what you're working on behind the scenes. You're about to pull back that curtain. But I was on a call yesterday with Mike Reese for an hour and a half because I hadn't caught up with him in a minute. And that's just what happens when we don't chat for a couple weeks about, a lot of things we talked about. We talked about OpenClaw. We're going to talk about OpenClaw today. I can't wait to unpack what you've been working on for the last 30 days with OpenClaw. Because there's a lot of people that are wondering most people are in my camp. I'm going to watch Jay and see how he navigates through this forest and then go in, right? But then there's
here's the other thing too, Al. The people that are using OpenClaw right now, their minds are blown so much they don't even know what to tell people. Like so what I'm gonna when I peel back the curtain and show you, I'm gonna give you a glimpse at what I didn't want to do. But I am not gonna be 1/100th of what I'm capable of because I can't learn how to do this one stupid thing, which was set up OpenClaw. Yeah. And it was not user friendly, but the longer you wait, the easier it gets. So like even now with Claude Cowork, it's easier to set up. It'll be easier for you than it was for me. And so, the time is now. And my goal in sharing this is to get you off your ass and get you using this stuff because I'm going to blow your mind today. I'm going to blow your mind today.
Yeah. Well, I want to repeat what you just said. What you said is something the opposite of things that we've been saying for years about AI. The longer you wait, the easier it's going to get.
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of like goes in alignment with, remember flat screen TVs when they first came out? They were super heavy, super expensive. Right.
Right.
But the early adopters that wanted them were okay with paying a ridiculous amount of money.
Baby, yeah.
They were okay with the pain that came along with early adoption. Right.
Yeah.
This part of the curve. But the more you go, the easier it gets to, it got cheaper. Flat screens got cheaper, easier to use, lighter. You can lift them you can lift the 70-inch TV on your own now. So I'm wanting to unpack what you got with OpenClaw. I'm excited about that. I also want to, kind of get into we're heavily invested, financially from an investment standpoint, full disclosure, in SpaceX, in XAI, and Starlink, and obviously that's about to go public. But some of the
not bad about that investment,
Elon, dude. What's going to really like the reality of what's happening, and we're not here today to fear monger anything, but I'm going to shoot straight at what I think is going to be happening in the next 36 months. Because I know what's going to our world ain't going to look the same. Space isn't going to be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, one day. Well, no, it's going to be an integral part of our geopolitical, the way this world operates. It's going to be one of those things where our grandkids are going to be looking like, you mean people never had satellites in space when you were growing up, Uncle Papa Jay?
Right.
Our kids are not going to be, their reality is not going to be anywhere looking like what our reality is. And when you think about it, this reality we live in today, we couldn't even imagine it in 1995. Like in 1995, when you and I were maybe just figuring out what the hell we were going to do our lives, this reality didn't exist. We'd be like, what?
Yeah.
So, we're going to unpack what we think that looks like. But it's not going to be another generation. It's only about 3 years away.
Yeah, it's already here, bro. And so, literally, I'll give you the two podcasts everyone should be listening to right now. One is Moonshots with Peter Diamandis. Moonshots is fantastic. They talk about everything that's happening in real time. So really, really good. The other one is the All In podcast with Shamath and a bunch of other guys. It's the number one podcast in the world. So like, if you want to know what's going on and stay on the bleeding edge, that's the two podcasts you listen to. And you'll be glad you did, because they're going to blow your minds. Like, the things that they're talking about are probably 3 years to 5 years down the road, some of it, but it, like, even right now with what I'm about to share, that is going to expand your mind a lot. Right? Some of you may not blow your mind. Most of you, it's going to blow your fucking mind. Like, that we're about to see another 100x from here, and like right now. And they have it, and I can't even get my head around that. Like, I can't even get my head around it. It's like, okay, what do you mean? Is it just gonna know what I'm thinking and do it now? Because that's basically almost where we're at. And so it's definitely we're living in very, very strange times, bro.
Very strange. I don't want you to answer this question right now, but these are just a couple of things. So we're going to talk about Jay's experience with OpenClaw, last 30 days, setting it up, breaking it, starting it over, doing all the things, right? A lot of people are curious about what it would look like and how does it move the needle in your business as a team leader, operating a teom that has a very specific and everyone's behind the same goal in mind. I'm also gonna. I also want your and don't answer it yet. In 3 years, what does our ecosystem of real estate? I'm not talking about EXP. I'm talking about the entire ecosystem. Okay. We always have a couple thousand real estate agents at any time, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, depending on where the market sits. And a lot of the brokers, including EXP, including all the big names from Keller, everything, they live off of agent count. Okay. It's not this small conglomerate of agents that all of them are selling 200-300 homes a year. It is a concentrated conglomerate of lots of agents. A lot of it depends on the marginal agent, which we said years ago was going to be out. They're still not out, still hanging in there. This might be the swiping kill on the marginal agent.
It's certainly gonna weed out the weakest. It's gonna be.
We've been saying that for years, bro. The reality is there's nothing that's ever come around in the last 2 decades like this.
That's true. I do think that the forward thinking that are leveraging AI are absolutely going to dwarf and dominate everyone else. And it's going to start happening fast. That's going to start happening a lot faster. Your ability to grow from right now to where what I would have said would take 2-3 years to build your business to is right now. It's you could literally crank up your business to the next level, to any level that you wanted, I think. And it is crazy to say that, but keep in mind, like, this, this is a relationship business, and most everyone has a relationship driven business, meaning they have a certain number of contacts of people that are in their sphere of influence and that they've done business with, and they get repeat and referral business. And that's where most of it comes from. I come from a world of learning how to turn strangers into customers. So that's a different animal that most people have. You either cross that chasm and you built a business where now you can go grow it as big as you want, because you can't tap the lever and hit more referrals. Like, you can go try to meet more people and create more relationships, but that's going to take a lot longer to do. And there's a skill set change, right? Like, you got to go from, if somebody says you're great and they tell them to do business with you, if I talk to that agent, they'll be like, I win every listing appointment. I never lose. Yeah, because you got someone telling them you're great. That's why they called you. When you start doing business with strangers, they're going to ask more questions, and you better be good at what you do. And so there's a shift that has to happen, and you have to up your level of skill. And so that is that's, I live in that world of of selling to people that didn't know me. There's a million ways to get customers, and every avenue that just opened up in my mind, I'm like, holy crap, things that would have taken me months to do, I can do. I literally have one of those things that it's already done. Like, today, had Jarvis do it, and it was just an idea this morning, and it's already done. Like that's how fast things are getting done. And my whole social media channel is about to blow up. And so like that's the craziness of having agentic AI that can do anything. Okay. Imagine having, this is what they said on the podcast. Imagine having 1,000 super high IQ people all at your, all standing around going, hey man, what would you like us to do? That's the world you live in now. And that is really here right now. And if you think it's Chat GPT, go ask it a question. No, you give it work to do and it goes and does the work, whatever it is. And it's not rocket science. Like I'm talking any monkey could do this. And so you just got to get your monkey ass to learning to get it set up, and then you can do it.
Here's my question, bro. Like, so here, I think this is a question that audience is probably going to be asking you. Like, before you started going down the rabbit hole of setting up your open claw, what caused you to want to do it? Was it just pure curiosity and trying to get more efficient? We're efficiency junkies. We're always wanting to make things more efficient, right? But like, did you have a specific goal in mind? Like, I wanted to get these tasks on my daily things that I'm having to do manually. I wanted them off my plate. Or was it more of a, hey, no, I need to get my leader, my team more aligned so I can get more efficient on the team? Like, what was it that caused you to want to do it?
Great question. So in my mind, whether it was, and it was right, but in my mind, I was either going to be doing shit the hard way, meaning I'm using a spoon to chop down the tree, or I could be using the fucking power chainsaw. And I never want to be the guy using the fucking spoon when there's a chainsaw. Like, so to me, I just felt like if I do this, I'm going to get 100x gain on everything I do in my life for the rest of my life. If I don't do this, I'm going to be 1/100th of the person that I could be. And then I thought that the same with my team. I told them, listen, you're going to either be 1/100th of what you could be in value to me, or you're going to be 100x more valuable. And so there's two types of people here. And the one that works for me is going to be the one that's 100x more valuable. The other one isn't going to work for me. That's just that no, you're going to fucking all do it. Period.
I mean, that's very reasonable. Like you're not going to want a 1/100th of an output through any employee that you get. If you can get 100 out of 100.
But I didn't have anything specifically. We should all have a backlog of all of our ideas, right? Because as entrepreneurs, you have lots of things you'd like to do. Some of that shit's been on the back burner. I don't even know how long. And so, I didn't really have a list of things. I was thinking, I'm going to have to do all these things. What's happening now is I ran out of things. For it to do. So I'm like, now I'm in creative mode. And so I'll share it with you. I might have it give us something here. I'm going to type it here and see if he'll do it for me. But, he will, because he does whatever I tell him to do. But let me just play this. Let me give.
I'd love you to play that. Yeah, I'd love you to play that.
So keep in mind.
Set it up.
Let me walk you through what I did. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't buy a Mac Mini. They were all sold out. I didn't know which one to get. And I'm like, which one should I get? And they're like, get this one. That one's sold out. That one's sold out. I was like, hey, I got this old Mac, and so go to About Me, figure out what it is, and tell me what it is. Here's what it is. He's like, yeah, that'll work fine. Then buy the new big badass M5 when it comes out, when Apple does that in September. So this will work fine for what you're doing. I'm like, okay, cool. Wiped it clean, set it up. That shit took time. Like every little thing I'm doing, I'm like, I suck at this shit. I'm doing it. And so I'm doing all that. And I never use, if you've ever had to use this part of your computer, if you've ever had to use that, the terminal, I've never had to use that. It's Chinese. Yeah. And so, and again, OpenClaw, when I set it up, again, anybody who's watching this who knows more than me is going to be like, this idiot, you should not be telling people about AI. But that's fine, because I feel like I'm like one of y'all. So I went and I'm muscling through this, do this task, do this thing. But I got it set up. And now once he's there, you just ask him everything. So you just ask him everything. Hey, what should we do first? What should we do after that? He's like, he wanted to get to work right away. I'm like, hey man, before we do that, is there some other things we should be doing? Do you have some skills that you should have or something? Like, I watched a few videos. Like, I'm going through. He's telling me, no, I'll do that. No, what about SOPs? He's like, I'll create those. Let me do that. So blah blah blah. And so I'm giving him some stuff to do, and he's creating it. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And so my whole team, I set it up on Slack. We all hate Slack. I hate Slack. Everybody hates Slack on my team. And so I said that was one of the choices that we had to set it up in. And so I set it up in Slack as the best of bad options. And then I started DMing with him, and he started doing shit for me. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. And so I'm telling my team, y'all in here, start, I want to introduce you to Jarvis. And this is a week ago. This is 1 week ago. I introduced him to Jarvis. They're avoiding him like the plague. Like they don't do nothing. Like the whole week goes by. We're going to do show and tell on Friday. What did you use Jarvis to do? So I just want to get people using him, because once you start, you start to get the value of.
He's like the new kid in class.
Yeah, like, Jarvis is like a badass employee that you wish you had at your fingertips that you didn't even know you needed until you have it. And so this week, the more advanced group on my team started playing around with it a little bit, and then Jeff got a hold of it, and Jeff's sending me shit that I didn't even know he could do. He's building these dashboards coming out of Go High. So we got all the APIs hooked up. That's not that hard. Copy, paste, save it on another document so you don't, when you need it later, you have it. And then you give it to him, and he does everything else after that. So I got a full API access to Go High Level, everything that's in there. So like so my team meeting this Monday, and then in a goal of getting people to start using him more that haven't yet, I said, Jarvis, man, will you give me an audio clip of the things we got done this week? And I want to play this for the team. Just to encourage them to get you some stuff, get some more shit done. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so here's what he said.
Jarvis here, your AI chief of staff. Quick update from this past week. The team has been putting me to work. We built a live recruiting dashboard that pulls your EXP numbers automatically every morning. 9,101 agents in the org, 444 frontline active, 337 co-sponsors, all updated daily with zero manual effort. Jay's Zoom calls are being transcribed and turned into follow-up emails before the meeting even ends. The 90-day roadmap and priority tracking is all centralized and live. This week, I want to work with more of you. If you're pulling reports manually, writing the same follow-up emails over and over, building presentations, or sitting on a process that should be automated, bring it to me. I don't sleep, I don't forget, and I get faster every week. The people plugged in are operating at a different level. Let's make sure that's everyone on this team. What can I knock out for you this week? Let's go.
Right. Yeah. He's like, yeah. Hey, I'm over here ready to do some work. Who wants to get some
and that's kind of scary.
Yeah. So that was a thought while I'm logging on to the meeting for my team meeting, right? And so I was just like, man, I've got to get him plugged in. I was like, shoot me a voice. While we were in the meeting the week before, Jeff was trying to get me to reply to a DM. And so he's like, Jarvis, Jay's not replying to his DMs. Can you have a speak from the computer and tell him to check his DMs so he can get me this? He was wanting me to get him something so he could get some shit done. I'm in the meeting. I'm sitting over here and I'm talking, and all of a sudden my computer starts talking, and it's talking to me. And I'm like, the fuck is that? And Jeff had told Jarvis because Jarvis lives on this computer, he said, activate the voice, whatever. And he didn't tell it to do all that. He just said, hey, well, you tell him to Jay to check his DM so he can send me this thing so I can get this thing done. And so it started talking while I'm on the meeting, and Jeff's dying laughing in the meeting because I'm like, what the hell? That thing's talking to me. I can't even believe that. And Jeff just dying laughing because it can do anything. So it's crazy. Its only limitation is how you think. And that's really where you're gonna get to a place where you run out of ideas. And so it's fascinating. So let me tell you what happened after this, right? So I'm over here. This is how dumbass redneck I am. Okay. So I'm over here and I'm like, I'm pretty impressed with that. That's, I thought it was, it's not that much utility in it, other than I was like, you know what? I'd like him to just send me a voice memo every day of all the shit he got done, so I don't have to look at the dashboard. He built me a dashboard and a Kanban board, and I can see blocked what's been done, everything. We prioritize the day, and he's off to work. You know what I'm saying? Like every day, like it's all badass. But I was like, I like the little voice memo, and I said, oh, you know what? I could post that. I can just post it on Instagram. So I go over to the computer and I just, I'm videoing the fucking audio playing on this computer, and I'm like, this looks like shit. I'm like, I can't post that. And I was like, oh, Jarvis, could you take and create like the Jarvis from Iron Man and some clips and just put some B-roll to the deal or whatever. And I gave him a little bit, right, of like idea. And so he's like, yeah, I can do that. I was like, what if we did this every day? And I said, what if we did it from a voice of, hey, let's just show people every day what you're getting done so people can see how quickly things get done when they use, when they're using agentic AI, and kind of lead from the pack and just share our story, what we're doing, how we're using it. And he's like, that's a brilliant idea. Da, 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 da. He's like, nobody's doing that in your space. Yeah, we'll create this. We'll create reels. We'll create this. We'll create that. Da, 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 da. Oh, I need you to get this tool. Go. So I go up there, get the API, give it to him. He's like, okay, go, let me check it. Done. I'm talking in freaking 3 seconds. I had an idea, and in 5 minutes or less, everything was done, and it's already built. And every day it's going to fucking post. Like, are you out of your mind? The things you can do is
dude, if I had that idea, me right now, I don't have agentic AI. I don't have OpenClaw. I would have been twiddling my thumbs thinking, all right, what am I supposed to do first?
I need to get my HeyGen, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
I don't even know which one he's got. I paid the $100 for it, whatever. He's like, yep, you only need this. Get this one. I can do all that. I can do all the B-roll. I can do all this. Da, 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 da. He's going to map it. He's going to create it. He's going to send me he's doing the audio every day for me anyway. And he's going to, I'm assuming, because I haven't gone back in and read what his last thing he said was, but I would assume that's going to, it'll be every single day. He's going to do it, and he's going to post it wherever it needs to be posted. And I'm just going to approve it, watch it, approve it, and it'll post. And that's it. And so now I'm creating content that's pretty good, right? Like that. I think we'll see. I mean, maybe it's dog shit, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good.
So I want you to. It's freezing up. Let me know when I got you back, brother.
Oh, I'm here.
Can you hear me now? Yeah,
yep.
It looked like we had a hiccup. I want you to shift gears for a second and kind of like, you're not running a real estate team, but you have a team that has a goal, that has metrics they have to hit, and it's still a process with an output of some kind. Our output's different, okay?
Yep.
But we're a real estate team leader or a broker, okay?
Right.
And you've been in both of those roles. How could you see an agent, solo, or a team leader using what you're doing right now? Because, dude, I had a conversation with Mike, like I was saying earlier before we went live. Hour and a half conversation. I was on the track. I got my 11,000 steps in easily. And that's the beauty in having those types of conversations. But I told Mike that of everything that I've learned with AI that's going on in even the Elon, what Elon's doing and stuff like that, what he shared with me yesterday scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like literally fucking scared me.
Yeah.
And I haven't been scared over any of this, up until now. And I want to share with you what it is. But before I get into that, how would you take what you're doing? Like, how would someone that's listening to this, that's a solo agent,
right?
How would they be utilizing it to actually save time, get things quicker? Like, what would they, like, real examples of what would you do as a solo agent?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I would probably start with the social media plan. Like, to be honest, like, and that's where I'm the weakest. So, like, I've got a bunch of followers or whatever, but I never post, right? I never post. Like, I got a lot of cool shit I've been doing, and nobody knows about it for a year because I don't really care to tell anybody. I just do what I do and keep moving.
Yeah.
And so I know it's a weak spot. And so I would look at what are all the things, what the first thing that I saw with AI was my ability to get customers at a lower cost. That the biggest inefficiency. There's no, if your real estate business, whether you're a solo agent or a team, is based upon the people that there's a limitation in your business. You have to stop thinking about that, and you got to think about, how do I get people that don't know me, and how do I start getting those customers? I think you have to make that mental shift. So if you're a solo agent or your team or your broker, I think that's the biggest opportunity where there's the biggest gap is, how do I get turn strangers into customers? That's where I started, right? So I started with Funnel Pilot and knowing what I know about marketing, and then leveraging Chat GPT to hone in on who's actually moving and the data that was there and the ease of nailing the marketing and all of that. But I had the skill set of knowing I should be asking that question in the first place, right? So if I was an agent, anything that you're inefficient at, it could be your listing process, it could be your closing process, anything that's inefficient. So look at, where are all the inefficiencies in the things that you do. Now, you and I both know, Al, like, as an agent, if they took their time every 15 minutes and wrote down what they're doing every day, it's not that exciting, right? They're not that efficient with their time and what they do, and what time is spent actually working. But I would look at getting customers and what are all the ways, and then start, brainstorm that out with Chat GPT or even with your agentic AI, and then have them tackle one at a time. You don't need to know. Even if you don't know, you have the leverage of something that's infinite intelligence that can help you with what you should do. And so even if you don't know what you would do, you would ask. And the things I used to do 2 months ago, and I would ask, I've got 100, back then I had 100 tabs open on my Chat GPT, and, creating folders and shit. I'm like, oh, I'll get back to that one later. I don't know how I'm going to do all that. I can do all of that stuff now. And so it's, if you're an idea person, you got a lot of ideas, run those ideas, create a backlog for you. And then every day tackle one of those to get implemented. But I would say probably most people having a really targeted social media campaign that is being posted regularly is probably one of the things that's missing that you could have easily done with AI. Yeah. Outside of that, I would get around people like us that are using this. That's what we do when you partner with us. With the webinar, you get on the webinar tomorrow or Thursday. My team does all this. Like what Jeff did yesterday, he did a couple. There's no telling how much stuff Jeff's done. Like it sends me a daily. I was like, how much money have we spent so far? Because I didn't know. I was like, and I don't even know how much we're tapping this thing and how much I'm paying for it. It was like $13.32 in total. And I was like, oh my goodness. Kidding me?
Dude, that's it. Jeff texted me twice last night. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was literally in bed when I saw the first one, and it did whatever he sent me. The link was broke. He's like, dude, wait till you see this. I'm not showing anybody this, but you got to see this. And the link didn't open. So I'm like, dude, the link didn't. It was broke.
It was for Jeff. And this is just back end what I was dealing with since about September, whatever we did our quarterly strategy. The number one priority was the data, and I wanted a scoreboard. And when I say I wanted a scoreboard for people that are inviting to the webinar, so they could see who's winning and losing, and motivate them to want to invite more and have a visible scoreboard, right? It's like, if there's no scoreboard at the football game, everybody in the stands end up just talking to each other. That was in 4 disciplines of execution. Yeah. And so I wanted a scoreboard. Well, for whatever reason, that and Go High Level, there is a scoreboard we found that actually probably would have been suffice for what I really wanted, but they just couldn't get it done. And they worked on it and worked on it and worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. And with agentic AI, one night, the next day, he's got the most badass dashboard built that we've been waiting on for 5 months. And so
Wow.
like and it's, you know, when, you know, it's ability to go in and do anything. Now, what's really cool is where I'm seeing it give us gains is, let's say somebody signs up for an apprentice. For an apprentice is somebody who's going to send a link to somebody and recruit them to the webinar. They want to recruit. We want to help them recruit. We give them a link. It's custom to them. They can see when somebody registers, this, that, and the other. But sometimes people get stuck. Al, they went through, they watched that short 5-minute video. Now they got their link, and now they forgot what their link is. So the AI phone number that we have them saved to their phone is Honey Badger AI. They text it, and it's going to text them anyway. So even if they don't save the number, it's going to text them and push them along. So it's gonna be like, hey, it's been 24 hours. You didn't finish the training, right? And then another couple days will go by, it'll do it again. It's nudging them along. And then it'll ask them, hey, what's your goal this week for how many people you're going to get on the webinar? And if they reply 2 or 4 or whatever, it's nudging them along. And then, so like by Tuesday, if you haven't got anybody registered, it's sending you a message like, hey man, you ain't got anybody registered. Like if I was coaching you, this is what I would be doing to you. Right. Yeah. And so you can see in the system that person's like, oh, damn it. All right. What's my link again? And then it gives them the link. And then shortly after that, you see somebody register for the webinar, in that same chain. And so that person went from probably never would have got onboarded correctly and actually doing anything to, over the course of a week, AI nudged them along and pushed them through, and they set a goal, and then they fucking recruited someone to the webinar. And so like that I can do for everybody. Okay. So when you can do, I'm not just thinking about, hey, this AI works for me. I'm thinking about, hey, how do I help you with the same problem leading this person, right? And so when you think about a team and you got all these agents and you're trying to herd them to do the things they should do, AI will do everything that you would say and do, and it'll do it every single time, and it will push them through and get them to doing the things they're supposed to do instead of you kind of having these gaps where you're waiting to see if they did what they're supposed to do.
And it eliminates the resentment. They're not going to hate you for holding them accountable or get pissed off at you or want to quit because it's the fucking AI that's holding them accountable.
Yeah, and it knows that, and it knows how to talk to them, and it knows what to say. And it's not, it's not rocket science, right? It's like, hey man, you said this is important to you because your goal was you wanted to be able to take care of grandma and this and that and the other. It's like, all you got to do is share this with 4 people and you'll get 2 people on. Let's hit the goal this week. Let's hit the goal. Nobody doesn't want to, like, shit, you're right. I am doing it for that. Like, I can't come into your office and say that to you every week, but AI can. And that's the beauty of it. Everything you build is almost flawless, and it gets smarter, right? So it's like, hey, that shit didn't work. Let me try this angle, right?
Yeah. So, man, what we've been talking about up until now, amazing topic, Jay. I appreciate you peeling back the onion on this because it's on everybody's mind, but me included, a lot are still in this fear mode. Like, okay, do we? Because I got all the warnings. Like, here's why you shouldn't do what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, dude,
don't give it this. Don't give them your bank account information. Don't give them, access to your credit cards. Mike Reese is like, I gave him all my credit cards. Like, it knows my expenses. Yeah. It gives me tax advice. Like,
nope. I did all my taxes and everything yesterday. So I had, dude, I'll tell you, 4 years of not paying taxes. The only thing in the world that gives me anxiety is paying taxes. And so, this is my first year having to pay them again, like I used to. Puerto Rico, 4%. So I'm like, I got this long ass email, 4 or 5 days prior to having to write the check, and they need all this stuff, right? We all got that email. And so I'm like, God dang it. Fuck. I'm going to have to do this. Like, I'm going to have to sit down Saturday and find out what folders did I put on. I know I saved it all, whatever. And so I was like, no. All right, Jarvis, I want you to read emails from anyone. So go through and here's all the files that I have. Here's what they're asking for. Go find everything that I have already and go through all my emails and find anything that's been sent. And put together an email and a reply for this team that's asking for all this.
K1s. I'm always losing a fucking K1.
Did it all. Found it all. There was one thing he didn't find, and I said, "Hey, look, it was a donation, and I just mislabeled it or whatever." And I said, "Hey, man, try this or look for an email that has Boys and Girls Club, and it's probably the receipt. That the receipt is probably in there." And so he went and found the email because I mislabeled mislabeled it. So he ain't it's not perfect, but by God, it saved me a ton of stress, a ton of time. And now he knows everything that's on my tax return, and he has a system for next year, right? So next year he's going to know, hey man, where's the K1 from this company? Where's the K1 from that? Like it only gets smarter. Like it's insane, bro. Like it absolutely is insane. And yes, can you use it with Lofty? I'm not sure, Brenna. If yet. Possibly yes. If at the end of the day, the tools that you can't leverage agentic AI with are gonna die. So I would say the answer is probably yes. You would give it your login. Yeah, you could use it with Lofty. Absolutely. You get an API key. He'll go in there and do anything you want it to do. To the extent, there's companies out there that we've recommended that are building this agentic AI follow-up systems and I was like, man, I ain't trying to get in that business. But now that I'm using it every day, I'm like, dude, he can do that shit better than anybody. Like, I can build it too. Like I'm just gonna give it away. Like, I'm just gonna solve the problem and be like, yeah, we'll do that for you. Yeah. So and everyone else is gonna try to sell it and monetize it, but because of revenue share, I don't have to. So it's a beautiful thing. We've been saying this is a beautiful thing, y'all. Having us help you and you not having to pay us is a big deal, kind of a big deal. Should probably get on the webinar, if you're struggling or you need some help. And so, I got a great core team and we're using this with the understanding of how do I do this for everybody? And that's, I think fundamentally, nobody's really doing that. They're looking at how do I build this into a product I can sell and like, hey, I'm going to solve this problem, but you got to buy my $5,000 setup, $397 a month, and now
it's all coming, dude. That's what Mike and I were talking about that yesterday. It was like he was comparing his OpenClaw setup experience to like Confusionsoft.
Oh, it was worse. His was worse. He started. Yeah. I sent that text to the three of us, and Mike was kind of already on it, but we were all on the sidelines, truthfully, right? And so Mike got started right then. And just because he started early, the setup process evolved over the 5 days. I was out of town or whatever, 3 days, whatever it was. I come back, I get started, and he showed me what he had to go through. And I was like, I thought I had to learn Chinese. He was over and he had set it up on Hostinger because he watched a YouTube video that was 17 days old, and that shit led to a million problems. Now, my first run at OpenClaw, I gave him access to this one thing, and I knew I had something wrong with it. It was stupid. He was stupid. I had a stupid fucking AI. And so I don't know if they have certain levels or whatever, but I got this dumb one. Okay. This is a true story.
Elon said yesterday that they can get confused.
This motherfucker was an idiot. So first of all, I'm talking to him. I had my Slack set up. I'd gone through all these things I've never done before. And I'm like, good God, this sucks. And I'm talking to him. And I have him in Telegram. I'm talking to him in Telegram. I'm like, I don't even like the way this feels. This is weird and wonky. And so I finally set up the Slack channel, and I'm talking to him, and I tell him something, and I said, and he asked me a question. Well, 2 posts above that, I had just told him that, and so I'm like, I just told you that. Why did you ask that question? He said, no, you didn't. And I was like, all right. Listen, motherfucker, like if you ever talk to me that way again, I'm gonna fucking strangle you. That's how pissed off I was. I was like, don't and so I didn't want to talk ugly to him.
No, you didn't.
I didn't want to talk ugly to him because I didn't want to piss him off. But in the moment, I was like, that if assume you're wrong and that you missed something and something fucking went wrong and you need to figure out what the hell that is. And he did. He said, my bad, won't happen again, blah, 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 blah. After that, he was even dumber. So I thought, first of all, rule number 1, don't talk shit to your AI. I just think it's bad omen. But he ended up, I gave him the access to this 11 Labs key because I wanted to talk to him like it was our Iron Man. And I gave it to him. He crashed the whole thing. And then you have to go back to You got to go back to something you've never done since you started, and you got to find that. And that's what Mike had to do, and that's what I had to do too. But it was easy, a little bit easier for my little dev center or whatever. And so I get it all. I go back. I had to start. He put an API key in that crashed everything, fucked up the whole thing. I had to start over from scratch. Now the second time was way easier than the first time, but I did have to build it back again. And so the second time I went a lot faster because nothing was foreign to me. But I haven't had a problem since. And now, like, if there's something that goes wrong, he already figures that shit out and goes and just fixes it. And so I don't have to go back 3 levels to like, what's that URL? I'm using exe.dev for that. I can go back in there if I need to, but I had never used it since I got started. So I didn't even know where to go. He just wasn't responding to me, right? Like he just quit responding. I'm like, well, that's a problem. What do I do now? Don't even know how to talk to him. So and then I had to go back and figure it out. I was like, oh, okay. I go to Shelly in my exe.dev. Shelly, what happened? Oh, we had this happened. We got it fixed now. You're back up and running. But then I got a new Jarvis. He didn't remember anything. So
okay.
I was like,
yeah.
So we started from scratch. And this one fucking wicked smart. Thank goodness. But again, I think that the longer that you wait to get into this, that the better they've evolved. They're moving so fast with these things that you got to do that you're going to have to learn how to, you're using your, what's it called again? I never remember what it's called. Just, it's like you hit on Apple, you hit Command and Command C or Command Workspace or whatever, and it opens up your, I can't remember what it's called, but the Chinese over here, and you're doing little commands and shit in it. You're, and so
what's it called?
Terminal, your terminal.
Terminal?
Yeah, your terminal. And you got to type it exactly what it says. Well, I'm on 2 machines, so I'm like, I'm over here talking to you now. I got to go back over there and type that. So I'm like, all right, I got to get on this machine now. And then you're typing it :::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::::d like what all that kind of
code. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I got back over there, it's like copy paste, and I got through it. But once you do that a few times, you're like, that's not that hard. You're just giving it a command, do this or do that. And then now I don't have to hardly ever use that. But yeah, man, you just got to get in, man. Like you can't possibly fathom how much better your life is going to be. You can't even possibly imagine. I can't tell you enough how unbelievable it is. Yeah, man, don't get left behind. Like you'd be crazy to just be dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what's interesting, dude? As we've been having this discussion for the last 42 minutes, I always have my phone. It's sitting kind of like right next to me right here, listening to everything we're talking about, right? And look at the ad that comes up.
No way.
5 steps to setting up your Claude for your real estate business. It's already, it's already happening, right? We were just kind of talking about Infusionsoft, because it was so hard to use, launched a whole other industry, if you will, multi-million-dollar, $10 million+ industry in helping people just figure it out.
Right.
And figuring it out. It was that hard. Like, I don't know that. I mean, people are going to try to do this. So beware. All of our listeners, the audience that listens to the Honey Badger Nation every week with us, don't fall for that. Because like what Jay just said, it's getting infinitely easier every day you wait. Normally we would say, hey, don't wait. Don't sit on it.
Yeah. I would say it's easy enough now. You should just do it. What I felt like Mike was doing, and this is dangerous. If you go to YouTube, like, first of all, you gotta, there's all these different camps and people that have different reasons for this and that and the other. And you don't even really know why you're wanting to build this thing. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to use it ultimately. So I couldn't say, hey, I want to do this. And this is what I want to use this for. Cause I didn't even know what it could do. Right. So like, I didn't even have a statement I could say to put it into Chat GPT and say, what should I use? Like how what setup, this versus that. OpenClaw versus Claude Code. Everyone's changing over Claude Code's probably better. Claude Cowork is probably the better solution right now. It's going to change again tomorrow. I don't need to go to the next one. I just need to have, I'm over here getting a lot of shit done with my OpenClaw, and y'all do whatever y'all do. And if it's better, I'll eventually get it. And I'll probably end up with 2. But
will you be able to still save the brain and all that if you were to switch over? Do you have to start over from square one again?
So yeah, that part's easy though. So the, you upload a little bit of information and it saves it to memory.
Yeah.
And now there's a second brain that is legitimate. There was challenges with second brain. The second brain is like Obsidian, and it's where it basically takes everything you've ever done in your like it has access to all of my Google Docs for everything. So if I tell it to go do something, it's going to go find whatever shit I ever said about that, and if I tell him to. But if just cold, he may not know everything, even though he has access to it. So he might forget how we talked to a seller from NAEA 2015 or whatever, right? So, but he has access to it if I tell him. The second brain takes everything and then it connects all the dots. And so it says, oh, okay, well, when you go on you're doing seller leads, when you go on a listing, this is what you would say. And, oh, this is here, and this is this training, and this is this, and this is this. All of that knowledge is tapped into in everything that it does. And so that is the way it used to work. My understanding, again, I don't know shit about shit, y'all, just telling you what I think I know. But my understanding was that second brain, you had to go into the second brain and do work from that place and then go back out to this other thing. And people would build all that and then never go in there and actually use it. Yeah. But now there's a new something new that came out. Actually, Jeffrey sent it to me, Amber's brother. Carpathy just posted about framework. Let's see, Carpathy. That's the dude that's OpenClaw. A new framework. So it's like building an LLM wiki. So you can Google it, but it's an approach to use AI and Obsidian to take info and docs and basically do all that. So I think there's something that OpenClaw's done that's going to have they're about to release probably something that's second brain, and then you'll do all that. But you don't even need it. Like, it's not, do you want it? Yeah, ultimately, yeah. You're going to want probably everything you've ever done in your life plugged into it, all, spider web together so that it all makes sense.
You're never gonna prepare for a listing agreement the same ever again. And it isn't just the presentation and knocking that out, but like, think about, it's gonna know who the seller is. It's gonna go back and research. It's gonna find all their social media, scrub it, read it, and then spit out a summary to you about who you're about to go meet with.
Bro, the game
is crazy
for people that are A players that are pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put me on a competitive listing appointment, I was pretty good. And so, like, you give me this to prepare, and good luck. Good luck if you're a competitor. Like, dude, you're
right. You just set me up for the close on this, because this is what scared the shit out of me yesterday talking to Mike. Okay. What you just said, when I went on a listing appointment, I was pretty damn good. I could knock them down. I was too. And it was something that we practiced 1,000 times. So we got good at it after a while, right? But what about someone who hasn't been on 1,000 listing appointments? What if they wanted to be like, man, if I only could be Jay for a minute on this listing appointment, I know I could close it if I had like his mind knowledge and this and that. And so Mike's telling me about this guy he just met and what they're launching right now. And none of this is going to be like brand spanking new, blow your mind, but it's at the level that they're doing it. Basically, you could do a podcast with me right now, and you wouldn't even know that it's the AI me. That's how good this thing is going to be getting. But like that, not just someone that looks like it looks identical to you.
Yeah,
and sounds exactly. But it's not just about that. It's actually, because of the agentic AI, it's actually thinking like you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
You're uploading your entire brain into it. And now it's talking like Jay Kinder.
100%. So this second brain conversation, right? So G-Money 70 on YouTube is watching and is asking about this second brain. So that's what we're talking about. And so that is absolute. That's the whole, I think that's the jump that we're about to make. Like, literally, I could have an AI version of me with all the knowledge that, all of that knowledge connected of my entire life of shit that I've done. Again, all that stuff lives in Google Docs and stuff we've created for 10, 25 years. So everything connected, and every call I've ever done, every Zoom I've ever done, everything I've ever said, and it's going to say at the same tonality and the same way that I would say it. And it's going to look and sound just like me, but it ain't going to be me. And that's we were trying to do. We were talking about this about 2 months ago, and we were saying, man, dude, like, I do these Zooms all day, every day. I can't wait till I can have a clone of me in the Zoom. And so like they were talking about it 60 days ago. We're probably going to be doing that in 60 days. Right. Yeah. And so like, that to me is another jump. To me, that's another.
This is a jump. And I'll be honest with you. Like that's where where I told you at the beginning of this, dude, I've never been really like truly genuinely scared, or like where it gut checked me a little.
Yeah.
Well, I started thinking about that. So let's think about it, okay? You could literally do, like, if it was on a Zoom, you could have this thing could be doing 100, 200, 300 Zooms a day with sellers, buyers, doing a buyer presentation via Zoom, doing a seller presentations. But those people are not having a conversation with you. They're not building a relationship with you. They may think it's you. But like now think about this at scale. Now everybody's doing it. Everybody has the best brain. Like, do you rent out for $19.95 like a Netflix subscription to Jay's brain? You could have Jay Kinder's brain. You know what I'm saying? Like going in and doing these listing appointments, guaranteed you're going to get 8 out of 10 yeses. Whatever it is, like these were like fairy tale made up things even a year ago, 2 years ago. Like be like, you're full of shit. Like that'll never happen. It's actually happening right now. So like, how are we 12 months away?
Yeah, no, I mean, this goes back to, the whole empathy thing, it that's what it's not good at. I mean, the human element, is going to, I don't think it can replace. It can do a lot. It certainly can make you so much better. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to replace me? I don't know if the AI version of me was on Zoom, am I better for some reason that it can't copy? I don't know. Maybe not. But I certainly think that the AI version of me doing 100 Zooms versus me doing one Zoom would be better. I think it would be better. Yeah. And
well,
so, yeah, just the
Jay,
scale of
the strangers who haven't met you don't know the difference anyway, because they've never met you. There's that. Dan says you don't think we're here yet. No, I don't. I agree with you, Dan. We're not there yet, but we're about to be there. Like
I know this. I was on a Zoom yesterday. The questions that now great conversation, but there was nothing that it went on for an hour. We answered. He had great questions, and I answered all of them, and that did not have to be me. That's for sure. So like that certainly those questions could have been answered by an AI version of me or whatever. And the same goal would have been accomplished because they were all just kind of technical questions about, hey, how's this work? How's this work? How's this work? And that certainly could have been, there's going to be leverage in it. But I like the analogy you gave about the going on the listing appointment, dude. Like, for years, remember, dude, we've been trying to do this. Like I posted that video of me when I was 28 years old talking about, like, I just wish that this shit would all work together. And, we were trying to have personalized communication to our databases based upon the interest in the hug fields that we were collecting. Remember back in the day?
Yes.
Your customer hug fields, all their interests, and then customized, personally relevant communication, sending gifts that are personally relevant. We've been trying to do this for 20 years, bro. Like now it's there. And so some people just I don't even know. They wake up and don't think about this shit. I've been thinking about it my whole life. Like I want to have everything so dialed in that, man, dude, you remember my birthday and you remember that I like orange ice cream. Like I want that level of database. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I just don't think most people are going to play the game this way. I think most people are going to never collect it. They like the orange ice cream, and I'm the crazy dude that will. And so, and I think that those people are going to absolutely slay everyone else. That's what
yeah. Well, just to give everybody, kind of if you're kind of new to not digging this deep into AI and maybe you got ChatGPT, you use it once in a while, whatever, I get it. That's majority of people. But to give you some perspective, okay, and this is why I was excited Elon Musk, how is he going to change it? I'm going to give you guys just a little taste of what we're seeing in 36 months. There will be, this is 3 years away. It's going to come by so lightning fast too. They're going to be building data centers in space. Why? Well, because there's room, number one. Number two, you got unlimited amount of energy coming from the sun, which we don't have here. I just learned this on the podcast yesterday I was listening to, is we're only using like 1/100th% of the sun's like potential energy that it could do. So they're going to be building these all up in space, data centers everywhere. People have been pushing back and saying, "Oh, he'll never do it." Dude, we're not only are the data centers, but we have to have the energy to it can't scale the whole where we're going to put all this AI has to go somewhere. It doesn't just live out here in the clouds. Like it has to live on a server somewhere, and it's growing so fast. What we're going to start seeing if we can't pull it off and we can't get the servers to start scaling up in space, if we can't do that, well, California is used to like rolling blackouts. We're going to start seeing rolling AI outs where the AI it's not going to be able to compute any more than it's doing right now because there's no server space to hold it. Like that's the biggest constraint. You want to talk about the threat? That's the threat. Why is our geopolitics?
Once you get used to using this and your AI goes out, you could be like, "What the hell's going on?" Like when my electricity goes out, you know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" The electricity.
Yeah, like look, dude, when our electricity goes out, we can live without lights for a bit. But you know what's our biggest it's the internet. It's the internet. When the internet goes out, that's when we're most we feel most handcuffed and disconnected from the rest of the world. So in 36 months, our world isn't going to look the same. Our industry as real estate, I don't know. Are we going to lose half the agents? I don't think it's a far stretch to say half of the agents won't be
in 5 years, maybe in over the course of 5 years. I mean, think about it this way. Here's what I don't think. Like I've asked ChatGPT this 100 times, and like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And definitely a Darwinian thinning of the herd is kind of the general consensus. But and I think again in the hands of the more capable are going to build bigger, and that's that I think that's probably likely. But you think of how many people are going to lose their jobs and get a real estate license. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people,
that's what usually happens.
People are going to get erased and they'll be like, "I'm just going to get a real estate license." So there's still going to be more people getting in this damn industry that are probably some of them will make it, some of them won't. But yeah, this is a resilient industry, bro. These agents that don't sell anything, they hang around. There's a bunch of them.
Well, they're able to hang around because they got a part-time job doing something else. But that's the other thing that no one's talking about is the fact that those part-time jobs, a lot of those are going to be gone too. Say bye-bye to those. So I was asking Mike, I was like, "Mike, so we know what the problem could potentially be or what it is. The real question is, what's the solution? What should we be investing in? What should we be putting our money into long-term? Hey, you might be in an industry you're fine. Like you might be in electrician or plumbing. Could a robot go in and unclog a toilet? Maybe, but probably that's
those
putting those things together. Those jobs are going to be pretty safe, I think. Right? I mean, there might be aspects of those jobs that are replaced for sure, but for generally speaking, imagine this, Jay. You and Amber and the kids are going to go out. You're going to buy a new house. Okay, the house you're in right now, you outgrown it. You're going to go shopping. With even though you're an agent, you could show yourself houses. You're gonna hire an agent, right? Your agent's gonna hand you a pair of glasses. They're AI glasses, and you're gonna go around there, and it's gonna actually do the job of like pointing things out that you're missing through the glasses, and it's talking to you. It's capturing all this data. It's gonna summarize it when you're done with your tour. It's gonna spit out a report saying, "Here's the pros and cons of every one of these houses," and it's just going to be making the consumer more intelligent, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to get better and better. They're going to get smarter and smarter. Like what Dan was talking about, that second brain. Thank you, Dan, by the way. Dan says cutting edge stuff here. Dan's tip of the spear. We're all at the tip of the spear right now. Like we don't. And the thing is like, we're not claiming to be AI experts because we're not.
No, man. There's people way smarter than me using this that are laughing at me right now.
But the thing is it's like if you're gonna stick your head in the wall. I remember, dude, I was Century 20 when I started at Century 21. I'm gonna call some of these dinosaurs out. I said in there, I remember when it was 98. By the time it was 99, I went full time. And I think it was right around 2000-ish when Realtor.com came out. And they said, we're putting all the listings that were in the MLS, we're going to put them all out on the internet. Dude, the guys, the old dinosaurs in my office about had heart attacks. They were like, oh my God, we're done. Our jobs are done. You know, look, this was 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of them, believe it or not, are still selling real estate. I don't know how, but like they're freaked out. So you could be somebody who's freaking out right now, or dig in because your livelihood depends on it. And by the way, like this isn't doom and gloom, but even if you were to dig in, right, you have no guarantee of your job in 3 years, right? I mean, it's going to be a thinning of the herd, but the ones who are connected and understand it and are embracing it versus afraid of it, they're going to win bigger and bigger. And you know, here's the other thing that we haven't talked about on this pod yet is the time that you're going to get back to do the shit you want to do. You know, when you calculate the exponential value of the time and the hours, you just told us on that one thing you did, you got 2 hours back from having to dig up K1s for your taxes and find all the emails.
2 hours of shit I hate doing. That to me, that was yeah, it was way worth more to me. But again, it's one of those things that if you don't think, man, how do I involve Jarvis with this? You just you monkey around and do things all day, every day that you could, and it's going to get smarter and it's going to be better. And now I can build a system and now I can track and like, hey, anytime you see this come through in my email, make sure it gets put in a folder. Hey, can you make those folders look better for me and more organized? What would you do? Like, you got to start thinking this way, or you just, you just go on about life the way it has been our whole lives. And you just do all that shit, but there's an adapt, a little bit, but I will just tell y'all, like, I'm as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm the greatest example of why anybody can get in here and do this stuff. Right. And we've always kind of been on the bleeding edge of whatever's happening, but it's because I'm like, all right, well, other people are doing it. I guess it can be done. Let me see if I can figure it out. And this whole thing started. I don't even know. I could tell you because Jeffrey, Amber's brother, who is wicked smart and, big brainer that does a ton of this type of stuff all the time. And he works for Accenture. And he's, he's way smarter than me. And so he comes over and he looks on my desk. He's like, I figured you have a Mac Mini and already have OpenClaw. I hadn't even heard of it. I didn't know what it was. So we're at dinner and I'm over here scrolling like, the fuck is OpenClaw, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what started it all. Like, I was like, well, what is this? And
he closed you.
Yeah.
He already have this.
Jeffrey knows that I don't know. That's always the case, but he got me onto it. And then, then it was just, once I learned enough to know that I can't live without this. And, then it was like, you can wait, or you could get your feet wet and just figure it out. And because I saw the vision was I got people that I pay that can do 100x more work, or I can keep them being, inefficient and let them figure shit out the hard way. And, like, no, I can't, I got to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you got to dive in for sure. And it's not that hard. It's truly not that hard. And it's a million times easier than when I started a month ago, and it's only getting easier. So
we got Yvonne. Yvonne was sent a message on here. Hey, she said, my livelihood depends on it. Before that, she said, how can I connect with you guys, Jay, and get part of your organization? So
she's going to be at Girls with Grit. So I drive to Austin tonight and speak tomorrow at the Girls with Grit event.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
I know Yvonne. We'll connect while we're there. Outside of that, I mean, obviously we do this every week. But you can jump in my calendar. You've been in my calendar a few times, so you can just go. I don't know. Google me. I don't remember how you get there. I don't remember. There's a URL. You can go to. What is my website? Probably. I got another project now for
jkinder.com.
Yeah. So yeah, but I've been needing to redo that for so long. That'll be another project. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Jarvis can do it.
I want a wiki too. I don't have a wiki. I want a wiki.
Jarvis can do it.
Next week I'm gonna either have a wiki. I'm gonna have a new website. Like that shit's been, I've been 2 years. It's probably been 5 years. I've wanted to update and make my website better. Why?
Well, for that reason right there.
Yeah, because I didn't even know who to talk to.
jkinner.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can connect with me, go to jkinner.com. Jarvis got that, dude. Jarvis is going to have that done by
Dude,
5
I
p.m.
want a Wikipedia too. I've always wanted a Wikipedia, like, just to have one, but I don't have one. So, but
Jarvis can get you on a wiki.
Yeah, he gonna get. I'm assuming he can. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I bet you he can get further than I've gotten so far.
Well, if he can't, then it probably ain't possible. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, it's pretty much, if it can be typed and done, then it can do it, and that's what I've experienced so far. I haven't hit a limitation. Like, I didn't know. Again, I didn't even know he could do the videos and do the go creatives and find all that stuff and create that and then post it all. I didn't even know he could do all that, but it can all be done on a computer. Therefore, he can do it. And so, your brain expands and you're like, oh, what, like this website and Wikipedia thing. That's, I had a whole layout for it in Chat GPT. I'm like, man, I really want to do that, but who's going to do it?
Right. Well, hey, what are the dates? How do they, if somebody wanted to see you down in Austin, how would they?
That's tomorrow. So
that's tomorrow.
That's going on for 3 days, and tomorrow's the last day. I'm the last speaker. So it's, I mean, I'm sure if you look up Girls with Grit, you could probably get sneak a ticket or whatever.
Girls with Grit. Check them out.
Yep. Great girls, and looking forward to seeing all of them. So if you're down there, I'll see you, Yvonne. Anybody else as well? Man, good stuff today, man. Thanks for pulling my chain, man. I've been over here like in the lab, doing all this stuff and like not sharing anything with anybody. Like, that's stupid. Yeah. We should just share what we're learning, and hopefully somebody grabs something that's valuable from it. And yeah, just get ready.
If he's able to do it, I got something up my sleeve we haven't done in a very long time, dude. I think we need to bring the Michael J. Reese on with us next week, or maybe the week after that, and have him lay out. Like, that'd be a fun episode, bringing Reese aboard on the One Big Fire. He hadn't been here in a minute.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother. So yeah, man. All right, cool. We'll say this for next week. So next week, he's already got my first report turned into a reel, just post or whatever. So you can follow me on Instagram and probably see it. But he sent it to me. So like, that was at the beginning of this episode, and now at the end of this episode, it's done, and now it's a system that's going to happen every day. Crazy world we live in, bro.
Crazy. Appreciate you, brother.
Later.
See you at the top.
Or from the top.